Greetings guys, Capricorns. This is your first reading for the year for 2019. It's the January reading. We're ready to rock and roll into the new year. So happy new year to you all. I hope you have had a safe and happy and celebratory journey into the beginning of the new year. I know if you listened to my readings in December of 2018, I talked a lot about it was a really good time to set intentions. So we're moving on from that sphere of life, from the intention setting period, which was what we do towards the end of a year. But January is more about activating those intentions, so setting into motion the energy and the direction you desire for 2019. We are going to use this John Holland deck first for an overall energetic vibration of the whole year's background energy. So this first card we pick is going to symbolize, energies that are going to be around for you throughout the year. Now, whatever type of card comes out, it is up to you whether you flow with it and rock and roll with it, or whether you decide to change it up or move it out. So you have options, remember, whatever turns up. I also did some intuitive work for you guys. Well, I've done it for everyone. So remember to check your moon and rising signs, because there can also be really relevant information in there for you as well. But the work that I did for you beforehand, these are the messages you received. And it was, I am willing to see how and where I need to change. You got the number 8, which is a powerful number of manifestation. It's also a karmic return cycle number. You got the colour red, so like lots of red, that's the base chakra part of our body. That's also the manifestation part. It's where our jobs, our career, our finances are focused on. It's where our home life is, our houses, our security, our tribal energy. And it's also the grounded chakra, which is of course what Capricorns are, the earth sign. So you received messages that tell me that it's a year that you need to focus on you. And that phrase for you, that mantra, I am willing to see how and where I need to change. That could be telling you about positive movement forward, about taking a leap or a change of direction, shifting something up, moving it into faster gear, uplifting something new, letting something go, dropping something off. So with that in mind, let's shuffle the cards and see what comes out for you, Capricorn, from this first card. We will then move into some normal tarot cards and just see the overall energies for the month of January, which might give you the ability to focus certain things in certain directions. So this is for Capricorn for January. And what I'm going to do is, because you got the number 8, I'm going to take from the 8th card down. So one more shuffle for you. Okay. Here it is. Very nice. You guys received the number 3 and the green, and this is rejoice in celebration. Now remember, I said that this was going to be a card that could be your background energy for the year. This is one of the very loved cards of the deck. It talks about friendships in particular, and knowing that you have a great bond of friendships around you, knowing that you have people you can trust in your life, whether they are friends or family. It doesn't really necessarily matter. This card often is represented by 3 females who share the sisterhood, if you like, of friendship. So they trust, they honour, they respect, they care for each other. They take care of each other in times of need as well. So the number 3 is often relevant with this particular card. So this could be a timing mechanism for you. It could suggest a period of 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. It could be indicative of 3 things that are going to happen that are significant for you in the year. It could be that 3 people are significant one way or another in forming either a structure or an alliance. It could be that these people help support you in your mantra of I am willing to see how and where I need to change. They could be support mechanism people for you. It's also very symbolic of our feelings because it's a cup card, so it deals with our emotional perspective on life. So this is often talking about relationships, how we connect with relationships and our focus on them and how they alter our perspective of our year as we traverse through the year. Some of you may find that you pick up wonderful new friendships. Some of these for you could be romantic friendships as well. For others, they might just be the fact that you are either moving to somewhere new, whether it be in a career or in a home, and you come across new friends. They could be new neighbours you meet, new work colleagues you meet. You might be joining a new sporting group or a new community group where you meet this camaraderie and understanding and compassion and feeling of people who share the same belief systems as you. So this is a great card for you guys to start the year. It bodes positivity, it bodes happiness, celebrations, possibly lots of events for you too in 2019. Sometimes this card talks about going to things like reunions or family occasions like weddings, the birth of a baby, just happy celebratory events. So a really great way for you guys to start the year. So we'll move that back out a little bit and we will put the John Holland deck away. And what we are doing now, just really coming back to the energies of January and just seeing what is in store for you or what is most wanting to be said. We'll use 3 of these tarot cards, just a little bit of shuffling. This is for Capricorn for January of 2019, the month of activating those intentions that were set around the New Year's time in late December. So Capricorn. The King of Cups. Yeah, well, he's following on from his cousins, if you like, the 3 of Cups, the 3 ladies that were there. Oh wow, the 4 of Wands. This is another beautiful card. Again, it talks to us often about emotions. The 5 of Wands. I did say we would only use 3. Perhaps we'll move it out to 4, so I'll just move the cards a little bit. 4 seems more logical too because we can possibly put it into the 4 weeks of January, if you like. So the first card, the King of Cups, he can be considered possibly a water sign person if he's coming in as a person energy. So that's your Scorpio, Pisces or Cancer type energy, but that can also be their rising sign. He can be around you as a supportive person who offers that lovely network and listening ear and is caring and offering advice. Sometimes he does offer advice, but oftentimes you can go to him to talk. He can be like a mentor or a counsellor as well. There is a possibility for some of you, as I mentioned earlier, there could be romance in the year. This could be a new potential partner for some of you. We've seen that a little bit with the 3 of Cups that we had earlier. So he can be sort of resonant of romance or love in the air or harmony around relationships or just general overall harmony and feeling happy and sated and connected to the emotions of life. So as I said, it feels as though you're walking into 2019 in quite a good place with a philosophy about taking care of your emotions and care of your relationships and fostering them with positivity and moving forward like I am willing to see how and where I need to change. There could be something about the King of Cups if he is a person in your life and there's this relationship going on between you there might be some communication that you need to address to rebalance a relationship too for some of you. So remember that mantra I told you at the beginning. It can be that if we're talking a lot here about relationships in your life, maybe there were some relationships that you need to rekindle or rebalance again and make some changes in those areas. So we can always look at the cards and from every perspective that they come in, because for some people it'll be this and for some it will be that. Let's move to that second card, the Four of Wands. It's another really loved card in the deck when it turns up. It's about nurture and happiness, events, attending things like engagements or housewarming parties or a wedding. It can even be the invitation to marriage, so like a proposal for some people. It can actually be the wedding event itself. It can also symbolize feeling as though you've reached some sort of apex or place of attainment where you find yourself feeling satisfied. There's a lot of satisfaction and gratification in this card. It's about feeling as though you are either moving into a better sphere of life, or you have just reached it, or you are heading to it, because the castle in the background is still a little way away, and that represents our home. So some of you may find you are moving into a better home space. Some of you could be shifting homes in and around this early part of the year. This could be for career options. This guy often indicates that over here. Or it could just be time to move home into a new abode. Some of you may have been looking for a new home for some time, and you may have found it and you're going, yay, yippee, yes, we're moving into this wonderful home that we have. But overall, it is such a positive card that it just generates this vibrational frequency of harmony, peace, connection, and happiness. So if you haven't had this in your life, and there have been ups and downs, this card is the one to focus on and use as your aspirations for bringing in that type of feeling. We come to the Five of Wands here, and this one is a little bit more argy-bargy. I always say that word for this card, and it probably sounds like a really weird word to a lot of you, but it's the best way to describe it. All of your other cards have just been so beautifully optimistic, but this one here tells us to be a little more feisty. It's the fire energy. It's the Wands card. It actually is the one directly after this, but nonetheless it's suggesting to you, get out there and stand up for yourself and don't be trodden on. Don't let other people push you around. So if there's competition around you, especially in the workplace or in your passions in life, like your ideas, your creativity, your concepts, your visions, any projects you're working on, stand up and be heard, be counted. Make sure that you're not being put to the background, or make sure that other people aren't trampling on your ideas. Because when this card turns up, that's sometimes what it indicates, that other people can be like bad, I don't want to say bad mouthing, but they can be putting down your ideas, perhaps because they're putting their own ones first, and they're saying, oh hey, look over here, we're better, or we have a better idea, or our prospects are better, or pick us. So this whole card is a fired up, energetic card. It tells you to ramp some energy into something, especially around careers and projects and ideas, consultations. If you've got something boiling away in the background that you're thinking of, turn it into reality. Bring it down into this dimension and make sure that you activate it. And that's what I was saying earlier, that the December was the month of intention setting. January is the month of activation. And for you guys, because you're the first cab off the rank in January, you're the first ones that get the birthday. You're the first ones that get the new energy of this new year. And it happens for you every year. So you should really harness those energies that are rolling on in. And it's like going to a fairground or a theme park, and you hop on the roller coaster and you climb up that tall hill on the roller coaster, and then you just get to the top, and with the force of gravity and the power of the engines in the coaster, you're propelled at great speed down the hill. Well, that's what you guys can sort of utilize, the speed and the force of gravity of the year and the energy of the universe to help and propel you into your ideas, concepts, plans, and activate them for the new year. Oh, and I did mean to say happy birthday to you all as well. So we come to this one, the Two of Pentacles. He can turn up, I've noticed, when people are applying for jobs or attending a job interview, and sometimes when there's a prospect of this being away from where you live. So in another state or even in another country. So some of you might be spreading your wings and sort of thinking, yep, I might want to go overseas and apply for a job overseas. So there's this sort of possibility as well. I tend to feel he bodes quite well. It's almost as if when he turns up, there feels to be like you're juggling something. Is it your thoughts or your actions or your ideas, or do I go here or do I go there, or do I take this job offer or that? So sometimes there's a little bit of trepidation with the card when he's around, but more often than not it means that there is something out there for you. It is usually an offer, at least one, and I'm talking now jobs, and you're kind of weighing up if it's the right thing or the right timing, or the one that you really want. So sometimes I've seen it turn around to be that you say no to it and you still change directions. This card, the Two, is often about juggling and not quite deciding in which direction you're fully going. So I think definite changes ahead, but your beginning of your year bodes so positively with this wonderful opportunity of, you know, changing things about yourself from the emotional perspective, new friendships, possibly new romance, possibly this whole new home thing on the horizon, but they all feel really positive and just about growth and movement and happiness and a journey and expectations. So a really nice way for you guys to start the year. Let's put these ones away, and to finish the reading I thought we would just take one angel message. Again, I will do a little bit of shuffling. There is a bit of noise coming in from outside. The cicadas are on the beat because it is summer here in New Zealand, and that's a plane flying overhead as well. Speaking of planes, travel for some of you in the year. So let's just see the one last card, and again I'm going to take from the 8th one down. So if I can get them to go in, I think that's the message. Trustworthy guidance. Another lovely message. They're always beautiful messages from the angelic energies. They're very gentle, supportive. You know, they've got your best interests at heart. Don't forget to call on the celestial helpers in life, the cosmic beings, you know, collective conscious, whenever you need guidance or whenever you feel you're not sure about which decision you want to make or which direction you want to go, because literally there is always someone or something like that over your shoulder. That angel is sitting across the back of his shoulder giving him ideas. So oftentimes when we get these, you know, like the aha moments, and we go, yes, I feel it, I know what I'm needing to do. These can be divine intervention moments where we've connected with a greater source or a greater energy to help us make that decision. So trustworthy guidance is beautiful. It knows that it's sort of helping to tell you that there is help at hand, that you're never alone, that if you put some questions out there and ask for their help and advice, they will propel you in the right direction for the answers that you're seeking. So the words on the card say, you've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it. knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything that you need related to this idea. So if this idea you've got is of a grand scale, or you've started the seed of a project, or the beginning of something new, or the beginning of a new direction, or concept, or belief, or change, or anything, and you're thinking, well, okay, I've done step 1, but how do we get to step 2, 3, 4, and so on? You've got your answer there in that card. So you will be provided with insight as the year moves forward and as your project conceptualizes itself into this dimension. So congratulations, Capricorns, a wonderful start to the new year for you all. I do wish you the very best, and I wish you a wonderfully happy birthday for that time period from the late December through to January. And yeah, thank you for joining me and subbing and liking and leaving the comments. I love to read them all. Wishing you a wonderful 2019 with much love. Namaste.